Imagine a world where your company's workforce could surge from just a handful of people to over 100 instantly, maybe just for a few hours. A world where headcount isn't this, slow-moving staircase, but more like a dynamic, kind of spiky crypto chart. We're going to unpack how this is actually becoming our reality.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're peeling back the layers on something genuinely transformative in AI, the ChatGPT Agent model. People are calling it the digital worker revolution, and honestly, it feels like a really profound shift in how we even think about work.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've been digging into the latest research that guides around this whole new era. And it's definitely clear this isn't just another tech update, right? Our mission today is to really get a handle on how these general purpose digital workers are fundamentally reshaping how businesses operate. And maybe more importantly, how you might engage with this new frontier as it unfolds.
So we'll kick off by defining what these new agents actually are, how they stack up against older AI. Then we'll dive into that big debate, APIs versus computer vision. It's a fascinating strategic split for AI, and we'll see which path seems to be winning out. After that, we'll break down what this means strategically for businesses, look at the whole AI automation landscape as it's evolving, and finally, really dig into the big question for the future of work. Is it, replacement?
Yeah.
Or is it augmentation?
Okay, so let's start right there. OpenAI's ChatGPT Agent. This feels different. It really marks a profound shift, bringing us into an era of what you could call true digital workers. I mean, for years, we've had these really specialized AI tools, but this feels like it bridges the gap to a more general-purpose digital workforce.
That's it exactly. And what's really helpful, I think, for getting your head around it is this analogy some of the sources use. They talk about the difference between a digital dishwasher and a digital Optimus. Think about it. A digital dishwasher, it's super efficient, right? Amazing at one specific repetitive job, like maybe a bot that updates your CRM or a content generator that just churns out posts on one topic. Powerful, yeah, but also kind of brittle. It leans heavily on rigid API integrations, like a preset wash cycle. It just can't adapt outside that very narrow task.
Okay, I see. So the dishwasher is great, but only for dishes. But then you have this digital Optimus. This is what the general purpose agent is aiming for. It's not built for just one job, is it? It's designed to, operate a computer pretty much like a person does. It literally uses computer vision, which is basically the AI understanding what's on the screen, like our eyes do to see the display. It navigates the visual stuff, clicks buttons, types in fields. It adapts to almost any software without needing special APIs for everything. It can actually execute complex multi-step workflows across different apps. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
It really is. And this whole vision-based approach, it begs the question, how does it truly change what tasks AI can handle today?
Well, fundamentally, it lets AI use the interfaces we already have, making it adaptable to pretty much any software right out of the box.
And for years, the AI world was kind of caught up in this great debate. It was about two possible futures for how AI agents would interact with everything online.
Yeah, it did feel a bit like arguing about national infrastructure, Like path one, the API everything dream, that was like picturing a bullet train future. Super clean, super fast, all programmed connections. But the catch was huge. It required every single software company, every city in this analogy, to build a standard API station. That's like decades of work, massive coordination. Maybe it would never even happen universally.
Exactly. A huge if. And then there was path two. The computer vision reality, the self-driving car approach. This is where agents use visual recognition to navigate interfaces, just like you or I do. It might not be quite as perfectly efficient as a direct API, the bullet train, sure, but, and this is key, it uses the existing roads, all the visual interfaces we already have. It can go anywhere today without needing special permission slips from every software maker. The roads are already built.
Right. And now with things like the ChatGPT agent, it feels like the verdict is kind of in, doesn't it?
Right.
The vision-based way, it's just faster, more practical right now. It works straight away with older software, doesn't need custom integrations for each platform. It adapts automatically when UIs change, and it can scale across, basically an unlimited number of applications.
Whoa, hang on. Scaling across unlimited applications without waiting for a single API, that really is a game changer. Seriously. I mean, from an operational view, what's the single biggest advantage for businesses jumping on this vision-first strategy?
It's that immediate compatibility. They can use their existing systems now, no waiting for new integrations.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for, say, business leaders. This shift, powered by these general-purpose agents, it really changes how companies think about labor, about capacity. Historically, headcount is this very slow kind of staircase function, right? Pretty flat. It only changes with slow, expensive hiring or, the opposite, layoffs.
Precisely. It's usually a static, almost fixed thing. But now with these agents, productive capacity becomes incredibly dynamic, elastic even. The sources actually call it a crypto chart headcount, which is evocative. Instead of that slow staircase, your capacity chart looks like Bitcoin's price history, right? Massive vertical spikes of productivity, totally on demand. Imagine a leadership team decides on a strategy in the morning. An hour later, maybe 5 human team members each deploy, I don't know, 20 AI agents. Suddenly, the effective headcount for that specific job spikes from 5 to over 100, just for a short burst. Then, tasks done, it scales right back down, instantly.
It's not just a surge. It's like a surgical strike of productivity.
Yeah.
And this power plant insight they mentioned is also really something. It helps explain this multi-trillion-dollar race we're seeing for data centers, for GPUs, for raw electrical power. We are pretty literally converting electricity and algorithms into on-demand white-collar labor. The implications for national infrastructure, strategic resources are huge.
Wow, that's a pretty staggering thought, converting raw energy into intellectual output. But doesn't that also paint a picture of incredibly intense resource demand? Are we talking about a future where a country's compute power is as strategically vital as its oil reserves used to be?
Oh, absolutely. That's precisely the point. The race isn't just about chips anymore. It's about the power grid behind them. We're seeing nations, big tech companies pouring billions not just into data centers, but into new power plants. It absolutely shifts the geopolitical chessboard, making access to abundant, reliable, and hopefully clean energy a massive strategic imperative.
So getting back to the business level, how does this dynamic, almost liquid capacity truly reshape strategy and planning?
Well, businesses can instantly scale up productivity for specific pushes and then just as quickly scale back down without the traditional overhead.
Okay, so to really understand where these new general purpose agents fit in the grand scheme of things, it helps to think about the whole AI automation landscape maybe as a pyramid, right? A pyramid of capabilities, moving from simple digital plumbing at the bottom up to these really autonomous workers at the top.
Yeah, exactly. So at the very bottom, layer 1, you've got the plumbing, simple automations. Think tools like Zapier, make.com. They connect different apps, shuttle data around, usually triggered by an event. There's not much actual AI thinking here. It's mostly just, connecting the pipes. Moving data from A to B, like digital Lego blocks.
Right, simple connections. Then moving up a level, layer 2. That's what we could call the power tools. These are distinct AI tools, but they're still operated by a human. Like AI content generators or those research tools that summarize articles. A human puts something in, the AI gives something back. Powerful, yeah. But they need that human touch for every single step.
And then layer 3, the top of our pyramid, this is the workers, autonomous AI agents. But this layer, it actually splits into 3 categories. First, 3A, the specialized human-operated agent. Think of like a co-pilot for a sales rep. The human is still directly in charge, kind of overseeing and guiding the AI.
Okay. Then there's 3B, the specialized automated agent. Here, the AI is built right into a workflow. It makes its own decisions, it's triggered by events, it operates without a human directly commanding it in real time. It's automated, but still for a specific job, like an AI automatically sorting support tickets or something.
Right. And finally, 3C, the general purpose computer operating agent. This is the new frontier we've been talking about, a digital Optimus.
Yeah.
You give a high-level goal like research competitors and summarize findings, and it figures out how to do it. It independently navigates different software interfaces using that computer vision to get the job done. This is the real autonomous digital worker that acts like a human using a computer.
Looking at that pyramid, it's clear there's a whole spectrum of automation happening. Where would you say most companies are actually operating right now?
I think many are still firmly planted in those bottom layers. The plumbing, or maybe just starting to use the power tools. The agent layer is still pretty new for most.
So when it comes to actually using this stuff successfully, it's not just about having agents, right? It seems critical to know which type of agent to use for which job. It's like a master craftsman choosing exactly the right tool. You wouldn't use a sledgehammer for fine carving. You've got your high-precision power tool, that's the specialized agent, and then the versatile multi-tool, the general-purpose one.
I have to admit, I still sometimes struggle with picking the perfect tool myself. It's easy to just grab what's familiar, even if it's not the absolute best fit. It really is an art. But yet, to be clear, the specialized agent is that high-precision power tool. You use it for deep, data-heavy tasks where speed, accuracy, volume, that stuff matters most. Doing one specific thing really, really well. The gold standard use cases they mentioned are things like competitor research, maybe using Claude's advanced research feature, or GPT-5 Pro for very structured deep outputs, or high-volume lead generation scraping websites, mining databases at scale. They handle that specific data crunching reliably.
Right, the focus tool. And then the general purpose agent is your adaptable multi-tool, like a Swiss Army knife. This is what you pull out for tasks that need flexibility, tasks that cross lots of different, maybe unpredictable systems, especially systems that don't have clean APIs. These are better for those multi-app admin jobs where being adaptable and navigating tricky interfaces is more important than just raw speed on one task. We're talking gold standard uses like creating a slideshow, where an agent might handle the whole flow research online, grab content, format slides and presentation software, maybe even find images across multiple tools. Or something like really dynamic LinkedIn outreach. The agent works right in the LinkedIn interface, adapting to changes, maybe even dodging anti-automation stuff in real time. It's all about navigating the actual digital environment.
So when a business is standing there, trying to decide between these two types of agents, what's the absolute critical first step they need to take?
First off, they really need to analyze the task itself. What does it actually need more? Raw speed and precision, or flexibility and adaptability across systems? Looking ahead, it feels pretty clear that today's ChatGPT agent models are really just the beginning, right? Like a public beta test. The enterprise-grade platforms are coming, and they'll bring crucial features like custom prompts, connecting to company knowledge bases, managing multiple users, better security, all that stuff. And this is where agencies, I think, have a huge opportunity to become these key expert implementers.
Oh, absolutely. The whole agency model is shifting. They're becoming personal AI assistant integrators. It's less about building code and more about being like a personal trainer for a company's entire workforce. It's a cool analogy. Imagine their service offering in 3 phases. First, like a fitness assessment. That's basically deep workflow auditing, finding all those repetitive, time-sucking tasks. Then, phase 2, the custom workout plan. This is where they customize and fine-tune agents, role-specific prompts, private company data, setting permissions just right. And finally, phase 3, the training sessions. Actually training the human staff on how to collaborate effectively with these AIs, setting up feedback loops so the agents keep getting better. It's very hands-on, very continuous.
The value proposition there seems incredibly strong. Take away the routine grind, right? Let people focus on the high-impact, strategic, creative stuff that humans do best. And this market shift is significant, too. It's moving away from coders, who were like mechanics, building custom API plumbing for specific projects, to coaches, like driving instructors for this new digital workforce, focused on optimizing workflows, human-AI teamwork, which probably leads to more ongoing, recurring revenue models, too.
Which then naturally leads us to maybe the biggest question hovering over all of this, the future of work itself. Is it ultimately replacement or is it augmentation? You've got the Terminator view, arguing agents will take over entire jobs, causing major economic disruption. Then there's the Iron Man view, suggesting AI will mostly augment us, boost our abilities, and shift our focus to creativity, strategy, human connection.
And then there's that interesting third way, the unlocking potential thesis, which Aaron Levy from Box talks about. He suggests AI might actually create more work overall by making projects that were just too expensive or complex before suddenly feasible. It's about expanding the total pie of what's possible, opening up new kinds of human-AI collaborative jobs we haven't even really imagined yet. It's a more optimistic growth vision.
So thinking of that agency shift again, how does this personal trainer approach fundamentally change the value they actually provide?
Well, agencies seem to be moving beyond just building tools. They're becoming experts in optimizing that collaborative energy, that synergy between humans and AI systems. Mid-roll sponsor read. Okay, so trying to bring this all together, we've really traced a fascinating path today. We started with those specialized digital tools, good at one thing, and now we're seeing the rise of truly general-purpose digital workers. And the speed and adaptability of this vision-based AI, the way it just interacts with the interfaces we already have. It's here now. It's turning business capacity from that slow, fixed staircase into something dynamic, like that spiking crypto chart analogy.
Yeah, it really boils down to a strategic choice, doesn't it? Knowing precisely when to use a specialized power tool for those focused, heavy-lifting tasks, versus when to deploy a versatile multi-tool for complex, adaptable challenges across different systems. That's becoming critical. And for businesses, for agencies, the future isn't just building tech anymore. It's about becoming these coaches, guiding that human-AI partnership. And crucially, unlocking this huge backlog of innovative projects that just weren't economically possible before.
This deep dive really does highlight a fundamental shift, and it's happening right now. We genuinely encourage you, listening, to start looking at your own workflows, identify those repetitive, time-draining tasks, and begin thinking about preparing for a future that's really defined by this kind of intelligent, impactful human-AI collaboration.
Yeah,
It-
the introduction of general-purpose AI agents. This isn't some sci-fi concept for the distant future we can just, theorize about. It's happening now. It's actively reshaping industries as we speak. So the real question isn't if it's going to transform your field, but whether you are going to choose to lead that transformation, help shape it, or just get swept along by the current. It really is about finding that sweet spot, blending uniquely human creativity and strategic insight with this incredible new potential for AI-powered execution.
Absolutely couldn't agree more. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Let us know what you think, and we'll catch you on the next one.